What's going on? Another video. So I was driving today on my way to work. And I started thinking, like, man, sometimes I hear crazy stories about, like, people that are single right now, couples, boyfriend, girlfriend, and all that stuff. And I started thinking to myself, like, why is it that every single year the dating pool gets worse and it gets crazier? And I don't know. It almost seems like the magic is like gone, right? And low key, it makes me a little sad, right? Because, like, when the Most High blesses me with a beautiful baby, that baby eventually is gonna spread his wings and is gonna want to get with a female or a male based on the baby's gender. And so I don't want this baby to go through so much trials and tribulations, right? Because I mean, like you can already imagine, if you're a parent and your child comes up to you and tells you about a heartbreak, I'm sure you get pissed off, you get annoyed. You're like, why is somebody trying to emotionally hurt my child? So I started thinking about my upbringing, and the dating situations and the dating scenarios that I was placed in, right? And I remember it got to a point that, like, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna put it all on the Most High, and the next person that comes in, if it's truly from the Most High, she's gonna have these qualities, and this is how it's gonna be, right? And slowly but surely, my partner walked in, and I was like, oh damn, she got everything that I've been praying for, right? And so but I was like, Most High, you gotta truly, I don't believe it. I know I doubted the Most High. That was my bad, right? And the Most High continued to show me that this was the woman, right? Now, prior to that, before I found the diamond, I did go through a couple rocks. I did go through a couple pebbles and, some craziness, right? But on that period that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, like, be still and wait for the Most High to bless me with a blessing. I'm just gonna do me, right? And I know some people, when they say I'm gonna do me, whatever, they go into their whole face, and that pretty much applies to male or female. But I pretty much, like, decided to be like, the best, most elite version of me that I could become. Now I'm still evolving, but I said to myself, like, if I'm going to be the blessing in someone's life, and I want a blessing to come into my life, I want to make sure that, like, I prep myself for it. So I started focusing, like, heavily on my faith. I started focusing heavily on my finances, on my fitness, overall on my personality, on a lot of things, right? My creativity, and ultimately, like, I was doing it for myself. But whatever pours out of that glass of self-improvement, that person is gonna benefit from that. And I was praying to the Most High on the same thing. I'm like, prep that person as much as I'm prepping myself for them. So with that being said, if you're in a season that you're truly wanting your future boyfriend, girlfriend, potentially husband, wife, prep yourself for it. Prep yourself. Look yourself in the mirror, get butt naked, and say to yourself, like, what do I need to work on? I'm not just talking about body, I'm also talking about internal. The external pretty much, like, comes after naturally. When you start working on the on the inside stuff, the outside naturally starts to change, and sometimes you don't even notice it. You know what I mean? So this is a different kind of video from my regular schmegular stuff, but it's just something that it was on my mind, man, on my cranium, and I was like, yo, like if it's on my mind, then it came from the heavens up above, and I gotta spread it with the YouTube peeps. All right, so thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. The views are lows, the likes are lows, but my videos keep coming on, because I'm gradually starting to like this. I don't like putting myself out there, but like it is what it is, man. I don't want to hoard all this like life lessons and whatever comes in my mind when somebody could benefit from it. All right, thank you so much. Keep the Most High first, stay hydrated. Peace.